Weapons is being called one of the best horror films of 2025. With an impressive 93% Rotten Tomatoes score and tons of praise from critics, the movie has been a big success since its release. If you're one of the people who saw this movie, then you already know how disturbing the plot is. But what if I told you that behind the surface level plot lies an even darker story? One that may connect this movie to a sinister conspiracy and even a real-life mysterious death. This movie has a revealing message buried underneath the surface-level plot that most are unaware of. I first need to provide you guys with a quick breakdown of the movie. I want to warn you that there will be spoilers ahead. The movie is about a family that consists of a mom, dad, and a child named Alex. Alex and his family take in their strange aunt named Gladys, who is extremely sick.
All right. So let's stop right there. Everybody, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever seen the movie Weapons. This is probably going to be the most impactful video I've done about Charlie Kirk thus far. So put a 1 in the chat if you watched the movie Weapons. If you have not, this is going to be a spoiler because we cannot, I'm not going to tell y'all what the ending is. So I took out the ending, but put a 1 in the chat if you watched this movie. This is literally the best movie I probably have ever seen. So if y'all haven't watched this, go see it. But some of this is a spoiler, but it is amazing. And when I say this entire movie literally dictates or depicts, Charlie Kirk's last days of life. Let's go. This is absolutely crazy. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. And I'm going to make the video bigger than me because y'all be talking mess. All right. Back it up. Let's go.
Weapons is being called one of the best horror films of 2025. With an impressive 93% Rotten Tomatoes score and tons of praise from critics, the movie has been a big success since its release. If you're one of the people who saw this movie, then you already know how disturbing the plot is. But what if I told you that behind the surface level plot lies an even darker story? One that may connect this movie to a sinister conspiracy and even a real-life mysterious death. This movie has a revealing message buried underneath the surface-level plot that most are unaware of. I first need to provide you guys with a quick breakdown of the movie. I want to warn you that there will be spoilers ahead. The movie is about a family that consists of a mom, dad, and a child named Alex. Alex and his family take in their strange aunt named Gladys, who is extremely sick and dying. The next day after his aunt arrives to stay with them, his dad dropped Alex off at school. When school was finished, Alex wasn't picked up by his parents for some reason, so he ended up walking home by himself. When he got home, he noticed his parents were acting unusually. They were both sitting at the dining room table, staring into space, responding to him strangely, and barely moving.
And stop right here. I'm not saying Erika Kirk's parents went through this, but if Erika Kirk's parents both are contracted and work for IHOP and are getting millions of dollars from IHOP, there's a similarity to her parents having this type of reaction to whatever IHOP wants her or them to do, i.e. by possibly making a family decision to get rid of her husband, which I'm sure was a difficult decision, but sorry. So just keep in mind, this story is depicting IHOP as the old weird auntie, Aunt Gladdy, right? So IHOP is Aunt Gladdy. Just keep that in mind. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. For the best interest of the family, they possibly just had to do what they had to do.
Out of nowhere, this is when his Aunt Gladys shows up.
So Aunt Gladys is IHOP extorting her and her parents.
And tells him his parents are fine. But Alex knows there's something up and throws a cup of water in his father's face, who barely reacts. This angers Gladys, who then sends Alex to his room. The next day, Alex wakes up and goes downstairs to find his parents still sitting in the same spot he left them, with Aunt Gladys sitting by them. Gladys tells Alex that he is not to tell anyone that she is at their home or that their parents are acting the way that they're acting. She then shows Alex that she has full control over his parents. She does this by doing some sort of witchcraft ritual that allows her to control his parents. She uses it to force them to poke themselves in the face with forks right in front of him. Alex tries to stop them, but they won't stop or listen to him. They only stop after Gladys commands them to. Gladys then tells him that she would do way worse to his family if he doesn't listen to her.
So put a 1 in the chat. Y'all are understanding the correlation between IHOP and this movie. And if y'all aren't, it's okay. It's going to get better. So let me read this super chat and we'll keep going. Shout out to Danks. Thank you so much. Join the Patreon and Discord, y'all. It's about to pop off. Let's back Mr. Let Go and make sure his voice never gets silenced. Keep doing what you're doing, big dog. We got you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Shout out to Danks. Danks was very helpful today. I appreciate Danks. But I just want to make sure I'm not losing anybody in the chat. So y'all are good. Put a 1 in the chat. Y'all are keeping up with what's going on because some of y'all didn't see the movie. I just want to make sure I don't run this whole thing by you and you're like, yo, I don't know what happened. Aunt Hop is crazy. Yeah, Aunt Hop. Aunt is Miss Glad. I mean, IHOP is Miss Gladdy. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure because this is going to get even deeper. I just want to make sure I don't lose anybody. So she breaks the she snaps the twig and causes everybody
some sort of witchcraft ritual that allows her to control his parents. She uses it to force them to poke themselves in the face with forks right in front of him. Alex tries to stop them, but they won't stop or listen to him. They only stop after Gladys commands them to. Gladys then tells him that she would do way worse to his family if he doesn't listen to her.
So even though this movie is about voodoo, this is a real thing that is going on with the country right now. It seems like everybody is in some type of trance and everybody is being controlled by an Aunt Gladdy.
Let me get you some help, Truman. You're not well.
So this is a scene from The Truman Show, for those who don't know. And I've talked about this a couple times in the past. Erika Kirk is literally part of a psyop, in my opinion, where IHOP added her to Charlie Kirk's life in order to, 1, survey him, and 2, coerce him into doing certain things that he may or may not want to do. And along with that, this has a lot to do with the movie Weapons because Erika Kirk's parents work for IHOP. Therefore, Erika Kirk has a vested interest into controlling Charlie Kirk and getting him to do what IHOP is telling her to do because her parents are under IHOP's thumb. Keyword, her parents are under IHOP's thumb, just like in this movie called Weapons. And here comes Charlie Kirk's best friend, Andrew Kovac. And what does Erika Kirk do? The same thing she does on the podcast.
That was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friend's trust in that way.
Alex then goes to school and does what Gladys says and tells no one. The next day, Alex sees his Aunt Gladys looking sick. She called him into her room and told him that she was very sick and believed his parents would have made her feel better. But whatever ritual she did to them didn't heal her. She then tells Alex that he can make her feel better. All he needs to do is go to school and bring back one item that belongs to every student in his class. And bring back one item that belongs to every student in his class.
And what is a non-voodoo version of what was just said? Geofencing. Geofencing is the use of GPS or RFID technology to create a virtual geographic boundary, enabling software to trigger a response. That is the key word, to trigger a response. That's what happens in the movie. The second the woman cracks the stick, it triggers a response in the children.
Which Alex does the next day, bringing back their name tags. When Gladys gets them, she then uses them to put his classmates under the same spell his mother and father were under.
So I want to give this content creator credit. His YouTube channel is called The Truth. The Truth Is. So this person's YouTube channel is called The Truth Is. The Truth Is. And if you want to watch the full video of this person's video, it's right up under. It's like it's in the description, kind of like under some words. You'll see it. You'll see the blue link. But shout out to that content creator called The Truth Is. They be dropping some real like gems. So shout out to them.
He makes every kid in his class run out of their home in the middle of the night. All at the same time, his classmates leave their house and end up making their way to Alex's home. The next day, Alex goes to school and he's the only student who shows up to his class. Eventually, the class teacher and the father of one of the missing kids team up to try to figure out what's going on. They eventually end up at Alex's house, where they were attacked by the people Gladys had under a spell. Eventually, the teacher and the father ended up creating enough of a distraction that allowed Alex to run into Gladys' room. He then finds her.
The name of the movie is Weapons. The name of the movie is called Weapons. Please go watch this movie. It's the best movie I've ever seen in my life. Go see this movie. The movie is called Weapons. Somebody's asking that in the chat.
For ritual objects and uses it to control all his classmates and uses it to control all his classmates and uses it to control all his classmates.
This is what Charlie was essentially doing. He had as much power over his quote unquote classmates as IHOP did. That's the reason why they had to get rid of Charlie, because he had control over his classmates, all of the young people that went to his seminars.
He puts the spell on the children and they immediately start charging towards Aunt Gladys.
Charlie Kirk had a change of heart because he started realizing how evil and diabolical IHOP actually was, and his goal was to turn the American people back against IHOP instead of the American people being against the American people, because IHOP was the problem. This movie was literally a depiction of the last 30 days of Charlie Kirk's entire life.
As you can see, this movie was seriously disturbing. From witchcraft, rituals to child abductions, and even MK Ultra, this movie touched on it all. While the movie might seem like just another horror movie, once you understand what the movie is really about, you will see why it's much deeper than that. On the surface, the movie is about the witch Aunt Gladys, who goes to Alex's family's house to do a soul harvesting ritual on the parents to steal their youth. But since they're full-grown adults, it doesn't work. So instead, she uses Alex to put all the students in his class under that harvesting spell.
And if you just think about what he just said, IHOP itself can't control us. Just like the lady couldn't get the parents to control the kids. She needed the little boy to control the kids because the kids were their peers, somewhat like Charlie Kirk controlling all of the American students. This is the reason why IHOP is using so much propaganda to get young people, young influencers, and giving them $7,000 to influence their peers. Hold on. So let me show y'all exactly what that means right here. We'll come back.
The Hamptons.
So this is kind of like what I'm saying right here. IHOP, they can't control the young people. They have to get a young person to control young people, just like in the movie. Watch.
There was this meeting that took place in the Hamptons that allegedly Charlie was threatened.
All of these conservative young influencers who basically knew nothing were brought out to the Hamptons to basically
see the same thing, just like the movie. The old lady was too old to influence the kids. The parents were too old to influence the kids. So she needed the young person to influence the young people, just like what IHOP is doing with these young influencers. This is literally the movie.
There was this meeting that took place in the Hamptons that allegedly Charlie was threatened.
all of these conservative young influencers who basically knew nothing were brought out to the Hamptons to basically hang out and party and feel like they were, in a reality show. And they were told that they were going to talk about Mahmoud Mamdani, who's likely to be the next New York mayor. And then in the middle of the meeting, I was told this by someone who was there, Ackman turns the whole thing into an argument about Israel. And then coming out of this meeting, everybody was offered a free trip to Israel. And Xavier de Rousseau is taken to Gaza, and de Rousseau is paid by the Israeli government to go there and deliver this absurd, flamboyant video mocking people for starving, denying starvation, and claiming that Hamas leaders are eating all the food, so they're going on Ozempic. And that's like what was coming out of this disgusting meeting where Charlie Kirk was being screamed at for trying to take like a mildly principled position.
I feel like people don't
And that's literally what's going on in the movie. The peer is needed in order to affect the other peer. But when the peer turns around and says, I don't want to do this, then you have to go after the Charlie Kirk person. Like the lady was going after the little boy in the movie. The lady was trying to kill the little boy. And that is the only difference between Charlie Kirk's life and this movie Weapons. The little boy survived in the movie, but in real life, Charlie Kirk didn't survive.
Because the kids were their peers, somewhat like Charlie Kirk.
And what the movie is really about, you will see why it's much deeper than that. On the surface, the movie is about the witch Aunt Gladys, who goes to Alex's family's house to do a soul harvesting ritual on the parents to steal their youth. But since they're full grown,
IHOP is the country that starts with an I that we're not going to speak of. So we call them IHOP. IHOP is not a restaurant. It is called International House of Politicians or International House of Propaganda.
adults, it doesn't work. So instead, she uses Alex to put all the students in his class under that harvesting spell.
And if you just think about what he just said, IHOP itself can't control us. Just like the lady couldn't get the parents to control the kids. She needed the little boy to control the kids because the kids were their peers, somewhat like Charlie Kirk controlling all of the American students. This is the reason why IHOP is using so much propaganda to get young people, young influencers, and giving them $7,000 to influence their peers.
She then uses an occult ritual to steal the youth from the children. What the movie is actually about is the truth on why so many children go missing every year. Let's unpack everything the movie was revealing. At the beginning of the movie, the child who is narrating the story tells us that this story is based on a true story.
Yes, the last 30 days of Charlie Kirk's life.
While she was referring to the story that takes place inside of the world of the movie, I saw this as being a literal message, telling us that this movie is based on real situations that are happening in real life. We will see more examples of this throughout this breakdown. We also need to talk about the ritual Aunt Gladys uses to control people and steal their youth. In the movie, she is seen doing a strange ritual using a stick and this bell with this inverted triangle symbol on it, along with the number 6. This spell not only harvested.
And that inverted triangle, we already know about the stick, but the inverted triangle, I'll explain that to y'all in a minute because somebody just talked about the inverted triangle.
The souls and stole their youth, but also forced a person under the spell to become zombie-like. The main purpose of putting the children under the spell was to steal their youth. We all know that children abductions are a huge problem all over the world, with hundreds of thousands of children going missing each year. It tells us why these monsters are going after the children and what they're doing to so many of them. Coincidentally, they released a movie about a class full of children going missing around the same time 100 kids randomly go missing in Virginia. We know they're after the children, and this is the very thing Gladys was showing us. We know that the elites did the same on Epstein's Island, and this is still going on to this very day. This is what this movie is truly about. It's showing us the disturbing reality of the world, why that Epstein list will never come out.
So that is just the beginning of this show. But what do y'all think? Am I crazy or do I have a point? So put a 1 in the chat if I have a point. Put a 2 in the chat if you think I'm crazy. Let's keep going. Because so let's get into geofencing a little bit. Some of y'all may have missed the understanding when I said the word geofencing. The thing about it is, in the movie Weapons, the woman had this twig, and when she snaps it, it causes people to think and operate differently, right? with geofencing, which is when you walk into a building or an environment, the Wi-Fi catches your phone and actually puts a tag onto your phone, and now it traces you. And not only does it trace you, you now have a certain amount of control over their phone where you can now send whatever it is that you want to send, commercials, text messages, some type of propaganda, because the geofencing can tell what type of things that you're looking at, right? So now the geofencing can send a certain type of posts to your phone. For example, the TPUSA geofencing that we're talking about right now, after the people have left the church, they will out of nowhere start getting all these pro IHOP commercials on their phones or pro IHOP posts on TikTok. And they probably like, yo, why I keep getting all these pro IHOP posts? Because their phone is now in control of, IHOP is now controlling their phones. So let's break this down a little bit more meticulously. All right. And remember, the name of the YouTube channel that I just used is called The Truth Is. Great YouTube channel. He broke that down beautifully. Okay, so here is the 7 things that makes this movie just like Charlie Kirk's situation. 1, instead of using a stick or someone's hair to make people attack other people online, So in the movie, they're attacking people in real life, like they're right? But online, they're attacking people in their comments, like, oh, you fascist, or you misogynist, oh, you hate, you're rape, stuff like that, right? So the attacking is somewhat the same thing. So instead of using a stick that you do that and somebody's hair to make people attack other people, they use extortion through APAC, and we all know what APAC is. It's documented that APAC tells Congress people and other people of certain types of power in politics. It tells Congress people and other people directly what to do and what to say. So APAC is the actual stick. So the auntie is IHOP, and APAC is the actual stick. Number 2, the woman in the movie was going after tadpoles just like IHOP is going after tadpoles. In the movie, the whole basis of the movie was to get the tadpoles. That is the basis of IHOP. They don't want our money. They don't want the oil. They want tadpoles, because in their country, they do all kinds of crazy shit with the tadpoles. All right. And I'm using the word tadpoles in replace of, little ones. I will say little ones, because YouTube, y'all already know, keeps demonetizing my videos. So I had to speak in code, under more code, because YouTube keeps demonetizing my videos. So to keep my videos from being demonetized, I don't even want to say the CHILDREN word. It's crazy. All right. It's absolutely crazy. So number 2, the movie the woman in the movie was going after tadpoles just like IHOP is. Number 3, the woman in the weapons movie was dying and she needed the tadpoles to keep her alive, just like these old ass 75-year-old Congress people. Do you know why we barely ever, I want y'all to think about this. We barely ever see a congressperson or a president or somebody high in power die? Not while in office. The only person that died in office was the Queen Elizabeth, and the Pope. Name another old ass person that was in power, a senator, a president, or whatever, a congressperson that died. Not got assassinated, but died. Can anybody name somebody? I'll do it again. Name one human that you have ever seen die of natural causes while in office, ever in history. I'm waiting. They don't die. Y'all can't think of one congressperson, one president. All the presidents be like 75, 78 years old. You've never in your life seen a president, a vice president, or whatever else of power die of natural causes. They died after they were in office, of course. They died. Biden, shut up. Nobody ever dies while in office. There's a reason why. Like I said, I did say mother of the Pope, and I did say the Queen of England or the Queen, whoever. I'm talking about in America. Name somebody. Kim Jong. I'm talking about in America, y'all. Exactly. Exactly. Adrenochrome. That's why they want the tadpoles. Adrenochrome. Does John Lewis count? No, John Lewis was not in office when he died. I literally said, name one human being in America that has ever died of natural causes while being in office, and it is zero, other than somebody from another country, which was the Pope and the Queen of whatever the hell, the Queen Lady. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Let's see. Did Franklin D. Roosevelt die during his office stay? Franklin D. Roosevelt died while in office on April 1945. Okay. Good one. One person. Good one. One person. All right. One person. All right. So good. Okay. Okay. Lincoln? Who's John McCain? What? Hold on. Did John McCain pass away while he was in office? Give it a second. John McCain passed away while he was in office as a senator. Okay. Okay. Thank y'all for fact checking me. So, two people have died while in office, and all they ask is to be 75 years old. Most black people don't live till 70 years old, let alone somebody running for office and being a senator or a congressperson or a damn president. But my point is, because thank y'all for fact checking me, but my point is the woman in the movie, she was dying and she needed tadpoles to keep her alive, just like the old people in office. And thank y'all for fact checking me, because it was 3 humans in history, in American history, and not 0. So, okay, got it. All right, the next one is she used in the movie young tadpoles to trick other young tadpoles into coming to her house, just like IHOP is paying young influencers $70,000 to lie to other young influencers. These are the 7 reasons or 7 ways that the movie Weapons is literally synonymous with the last 30 days of Charlie Kirk's life. Number 5, the lady infiltrated the young boy's parents to make the boy to make the boy do her bidding, just like IHOP did with Charlie Kirk's dad and both of Erika Kirk's parents. Now, if she doesn't help, if she doesn't help her and, help her in Erika Kirk's life is possibly, because I don't want to get sued, get rid of her husband in order to, keep everything moving efficiently. But I'm not saying Erika Kirk had something to do with that. I'm just speculating. And remember, I don't know nothing. I'm just here to speculate. This is pure entertainment. I don't want nobody to sue me. All right. Now, if she doesn't help set up her husband, her parents will lose millions of dollars or worse. So I'll say it again. In real life, not in a movie, if Erika Kirk does not help set her husband up, her parents would lose millions or worse, just like in the movie Weapons. Her parents were used against her. IHOP employed Erika Kirk's parents, both of them, in order to have a certain amount of control over Erika Kirk. And I'm not saying Erika Kirk did anything. This is all speculation, but I'm not gonna say nothing else. Okay. Number 6, the tadpoles were held captive in the lady's basement. Then in itself is the tadpoles were held captive in the lady's basement. That in itself is the epitome of tadpole traffic lights. They were held in her basement instead of shipping containers in real life. Number 7, the geofencing that was being done by Turning Point USA was not just done to Charlie Kirk's memorial, but it was being done in every church in the West Coast. Every church in the West Coast. And let me play this so you can understand what
thing go, because we keep finding out more information. What if I told you that at Charlie Kirk's memorial, every single person there might have had their phone geofenced, meaning their phone was tracked? I'm not saying it definitely happened, but I would like us to gather the truth and the facts of the situation. On September 18th, 3 days before the memorial, official government filings showed that the country we're not supposed to talk about wired money to a company called Show Faith by Works. That same filing says the company signed a $4 million contract with that country we're not supposed to talk about, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to run what they call a Christian church geofencing campaign. Here's what that means. Invisible GPS fences are drawn around churches and Christian colleges in states like Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado. So basically, when your phone enters those zones, it can be tagged and then later hit with targeted ads or messages. Tens of thousands of Christians filled a stadium in Arizona for the Charlie Kirk Memorial, right? The first payment of roughly, $326,000 had already been made to launch the geofencing project. That's a fact. The filings talk about reaching believers with the country we're not supposed to name, influencers, emailing pastors, contacting people, even creating something called the October 7th experience. So, no, the document never says we track the memorial crowd, but the timing and the location line up almost perfectly. So you got to ask yourself, when faith gatherings draw huge crowds, who's building the geofences around there? Who's collecting the data? And what are they doing with it? Because in 2025, your faith and your phone might both be on record.
So the woman in Weapons, her style of geofencing was the whole classroom. Because if you remember in the movie, those who've seen it, the whole classroom was under whatever, right? Was under the trance. So that was her geofencing. She geofenced the whole classroom. What she did to that classroom is literally what geofencing does to actual people on a normal basis. It captures the data of an entire group, monitors them, and when it's time for whatever to happen, it sends a certain amount of instructions to the person's phone to cause the entire group to have the same triggered response to the signal. All right. And she just explained geofencing. The underlying similarity with this movie and reality is propaganda isn't voodoo. It's worse than voodoo. Propaganda is worse than voodoo, y'all. Now, the end of the movie shows that what could have happened if Charlie wouldn't have died. I didn't show the end of the movie because I want y'all to go see the movie. I don't want to totally like mess the movie up for y'all. But the end of the movie shows exactly what could have happened if Charlie Kirk wouldn't have died. In other words, Charlie Kirk died and we still have these problems with IHOP. Charlie Kirk, just like the little boy in the movie, was trying to turn us against the monster. And they had to get rid of him. But in the movie, he turned us against the monster and we won. That's the difference between us and the actual movie, sadly. In the movie, the boy programs all of the people who are under the trance of IHOP to start uprising against the lady, i.e. IHOP. That was the last part of the movie.
This just blew my mind. Oh, God. But it's definitely not that country we're not supposed to talk about.
Did kill Charlie Kirk. They have the motive to do so. Here are private messages which were verified by TPUSA. Charlie Kirk says, I just lost another huge donor. $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Charlie says, donors play into all stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the cause. There are numerous public clips from his own podcast where he's criticizing lobbyists and donors.
Because donors have been the #1 funding mechanism of radical open border neoliberal quasi policies.
Additionally, talking about how the narrative around October 7th doesn't make sense. Was there a stand down order?
I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to...
He talks about the mainstream narrative around Israel. Are we getting the full story? He says this directly to Ben Shapiro the day before he was assassinated.
Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to... Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says.
They have motive. There is clearly a break going on there. Additionally, you could easily manufacture all of the details of a case like this. And you can make it look believable. Well, if the person who did this was turned in by his own family, clearly it must have been him. Well, there are these private messages basically affirming that this person definitely did it, even though those messages look completely fabricated. Well, there are certain, innuendos that only a crazy weirdo would know how to write, except that those are very, very common internet things, right? These little inside jokes like ooh woo, those things have been around for a decade. What the FBI is telling me has to be true. Clearly, the autopsy is accurate. I mean, his vertebrae must have stopped a 30-06 with 2,500 foot-pounds of force traveling at 2,000 feet per second. If you're willing to carry out a political event like this, if you have all of the money that the CIA or more have, it would be very easy to have a narrative writer to create a story to make it plausible.
Hold on. let's see, the fact that you keep referring to toilet paper, you as a movement, that sounds like, do you want to join what? Do you want to I don't understand. Referring to toilet paper. What is okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
And to take the heat off of your potential involvement.
I want to tell you that I actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors. I believe that that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination. I believe that there were therefore multiple decoys on the ground. I do not believe, just so I'm clear here, that the person who was walking up the stairs killed Charlie. In fact, my suspicion is that that photo was not even shot on the same day. I do not believe that the person who ran across Losey rooftop killed Charlie. I think it was another decoy. I do not believe that shot came from a Losey center at all. And we all know that decoy George Zinn didn't kill Charlie. And I received an interesting tip about him as well, that he's much more connected than what meets the surface. That he potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department. And we are prodding that. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, staircase guy, maroon shirt guy, and Losey center guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner. And obviously I'm speculating here, but I believe Tyler Robinson was involved, and he was in fact driving around campus on that day, therefore assisting in the costume changes, likely picking up clothing. And as we broke the story, Tyler was seen at Dairy Queen. And what was he seen doing, as I told you? Dumping clothing in the cemetery beside that Dairy Queen. So I think that is what his involvement is limited to. That was his job, to get rid of clothing. It's completely a nonsense to think that a person who had never killed anyone was high on adrenaline after a kill and decided to eat Dairy Queen. That doesn't even make sense biologically speaking.
All right. I just got some breaking news. Apparently, today is Charlie Kirk's birthday. He got honored the Medal of Freedom today. And his parents are still not present. Does anybody know that? How in the world can Charlie Kirk's parents not come to his funeral and not come to inauguration or whatever this thing is for the Medal of Freedom presentation, I guess? Shout out to Allie. Where the hell is his damn parents? It's his birthday, and there was a ceremony for Charlie Kirk, and his damn parents weren't even there. Shit is crazy. Guess who was up there? You already know. Donald Trump and his girlfriend, Erika Trump. I mean, oh my God. Donald Trump and his girlfriend, Erika Trump, presented the... Bro, what is going on? So now Trump got a little, like, he just prancing her around everywhere now. You might well just come out and say it. Shit's crazy. I bet they were hugging and kissing there too. Shit is crazy. Just got hold of you could send me a link. All right, let's keep going. This shit is crazy.
Was Charlie Kirk wasn't some schmuck with a microphone and a couple thousand followers that spoke racistly on his podcast. Charlie Kirk is the co-founder of Turning Point USA, which is a massive organization in America that has 3,500 chapters all across America in all 50 states that is solely dedicated to spreading conservatism to high schoolers and college students. If you look at statistics, okay, Gen Z males, 12th grade boys, any sort of like college white males, they're more Republican than their counterparts from 10 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Charlie Kirk is directly responsible for these statistics, and Turning Point USA isn't some small grassroots campaign. They get insane funding. In 2022 alone, Turning Point USA secured $80 million of funding. Guess who's funding them? These people are directly responsible for getting Trump elected, for getting all of the worst Republican senators and all of them elected, to whitewash their image, to whitewash that G word, the thing that's happening in, Charlie Kirk was such a big deal that when he died, Trump released a 4-minute video talking about how much of a loss he is. Netanyahu immediately tweeted that it was such a great loss.
I dropped a link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and share their perspective. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and share their perspective on what we've talked about thus far.
Flew his casket to his hometown.
Hold on. Marjorie. Why, Marjorie? Hold on, let me see. Marjorie, you already know I got 8 group chats going on at the same. Marjorie, you ain't even said nothing. Oh, hold on.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of
Marjorie, I'll be listening to you. I talked about that before. We all talked about the kill switch. I made a whole live stream about the kill switch. What are you talking about, Marjorie? I've been talking about this. I seen it. So shout out to Marjorie. I got you. She talked about the insurance policy, the kill switch. I talked about that 4 days ago.
And on Air Force 2, and the flags in America were ordered to fly at half-mast in his honor. The EU Parliament, or the British Parliament, I can't remember now, but one of them took a moment of silence to honor the late Charlie Kirk. This wasn't your average podcaster who would appear on Jubilee and argue with college students about racism. This guy was the architect of the changing of minds of young white males in America, the rise of racism, the rise of bigotry, the rise of xenophobia, the rise of Islamophobia, the rise of anti-LGBTQ sentiments, the rise of fascism, the rise of Zionism. The list goes on.
All right, so we got somebody. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
All right. I'm just making this pretty good-looking pizza I got going on here.
All right, that's what's up.
Right on. So what are you up to? How you doing?
Not much, man. What's your thoughts on everything?
Oh, you want to know? Oh, you really want to know?
You already know what not to say, so yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, pretty much, I just pretty much want to state this in questions. I want to ask some questions, right? And I want to talk about the day, September 10th. I want to talk about that day, and I want to ask some questions about it, right? Did you see any video after the fact after everything happened, of people crowding around or standing? Or was there like a lot of people there? Do you remember?
People where?
Standing around, loitering kids, young adults. Did you see video of kids, young adults loitering after the fact?
Yes.
Okay, me too. Yeah, I did too. All right. Did you see any video after the fact of police or even forensics or even tape? Did you see tape go up?
No.
Well, I actually saw one video of some moody tape going up. It wasn't very secure, right? There was no way you could call that a secure crime scene or secure murder scene. I think have you ever seen the murder shows where they have murder scenes?
Whoa, come on, man. Can you not say the M word? like,
Okay, sorry. Have you ever seen those?
Look, man, you gotta understand, man. A lot of my videos keep getting demonetized because of stuff like this. Then I'm turning around. Oh my God, I be having to cut all this stuff out, man. I
Well,
be
I'm
wanting to have
sorry.
people up.
I'm sorry.
You already been warned so many times. Like, you don't
Well, then block
realize
me.
my
I didn't
video
do it
will
on purpose.
get monetized. So go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So have you ever seen the show First 48? Right. Those forensic police officers, they're pretty like diligent, right? They're taking pictures. They got like little little like things set up to where they want to go, and they're very diligent, right? Is my point. And none of that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now let's fast forward a week or two or even like 3 weeks, right? We know that we saw all those people loitering, right? And we also know that we saw somebody get, and we saw like a neck fountain type deal. We all saw that,
Yeah.
right? And anybody here should be familiar with the consistency of blood. And they should be familiar that when blood gets on something, it's very noticeable. It's very sticky. It's very, it's all that. You can notice it. It's sticky. It takes a lot to clean up. It takes a whole lot to clean up. And also, if there's a lot of it, you need like hazmat suits. If it's in a public place, you need people with hazmat suits cleaning it up. It's a biohazard, right? I mean, that's the assumption I've been under my entire life. My entire life, I've thought that. Okay, so I want to know, out of all those young adults that we know loitering around the crime scene, where's all the class clowns taking pictures with Charlie's gore, all the gore? Where's the pictures or the video of somebody going, oh my God, look at what they did to Charlie. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. We all saw the mess, but there's no mess photos after the fact, telling me that there's no mess, telling me.
Uh-oh.
Aren't going to be standing right there taking pictures of the gore, taking pictures of all the blood, taking pictures of all that and saying, look what posting it. Come on. No. And that's all I want to say.
I get it. I understand. Cammy, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
First of all, I want to say I absolutely love you and your podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm there every day, and sometimes I'm like, damn, where is he? I need to hear from him.
I've been seeing you in the comments. Shout out to you.
Yeah, thanks. So one thing I wanted to say was about I did see weapons. And I agree with you like wholeheartedly on that entire thing. Like, I've already been down many rabbit holes. I've seen many ties to one EK person.
Yeah.
To that kind of stuff. I think your analogy was spot on with that. I also wanted to mention that I did see today, I think it was Harsh Reality. I'm not sure. I'm following a lot of stuff, but I think it was Harsh Reality where he showed that it looked like the shooter was behind Charlie Kirk's tent. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw any of that. You did. Yeah. And so, I mean, that made a lot of sense to me because, I mean, I saw the shadows running back and forth and everything he pointed out. That made a lot of sense to me because he was pointing out that the bullet came from the back, hit the occipital lobe, went down the spinal column, and like wouldn't have exited. Therefore, like not being a whole lot of blood.
So here's the problem with all of these little videos that we keep watching.
Yeah.
Nobody can pow somebody without 3,000 people seeing it unless the person was either on top of the roof, which was the first, theory, which got debunked, or it was no shooter. It is impossible for anybody to shoot another person in front of 3,000 people. I'm just like everybody, can think how they want to think, but I
Right.
don't care if the shot came from behind, from left to right. Nobody can turn around and pow somebody that accurately in the neck
Yeah.
to get them out of here without somebody being like, he's got a gun. it's it's crazy. Oh, he was shot this way. How? 3,000 people standing around, and we all know it was like probably about 50 people behind the tent walking around, right?
Right.
So everybody's like, oh, he's about to shoot somebody. Oh, okay, let me go eat a sandwich. No, somebody was like, oh, he got a gun. So it's just to me, it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
How people are running around like, oh, somebody pulled up in an SUV and opened up the back, and then somebody was standing in the crowd and had a hand pistol. Somebody was over here with a gun. Okay, and here's another thing. Do you know when you go to a shooting range, you have to wear earmuffs?
Yeah, I've shot before, so yeah, I've worn them.
So imagine somebody shooting somebody in the crowd next to another person. They'd be like, their ears would be hurting.
Well,
Is anybody ears hurting?
What do you think
Cammy?
about us? No, I'm at
No. Cammy. With all these
Yeah.
people that done shot Charlie Kirk from here to there, is anybody ears hurting from because it's very loud? Nobody. There's not a soul that ever said my ears were hurting because the person that shot him was standing right next to me. Not one person. He was not shot. But go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think about a silencer? I've never been around a silencer. What do you think about that?
Okay. And it's okay. You said you've never been around it. I just want to show you.
No, I've never been around it, so I wouldn't
It's okay.
know.
I just want to show you. A silencer is longer than its remote control. Okay. So that means the gun would be like this, right? And then a silencer would be like this.
Yeah.
So that means a handgun will then be the size of your entire arm. How do you hide that?
That's very obvious.
Something this long in a crowd of 3,000 people?
Yeah,
No.
that's very long. Yeah, obvious.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So it wasn't a silencer either.
Right.
And silencers.
Do you think it was the CO2 thing that you talked about then?
Yes.
Okay.
I still got it right here. It's the
who do
CO2 charged.
Who do you think did that?
I don't want to get sued, so this is just my opinion, and this is just for entertainment purposes only. But I think everybody on his team was paid off, and Erika Kirk was easily able to turn a blind eye to this because her parents work for IHOP, both of them.
Right.
So she ain't gonna say nothing because I want you to think about this. If somebody came to you and said, we're going to either blank your husband or we're going to blank your parents, who's saying bye-bye?
Yeah.
Your husband, right?
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, and I wanted to say too that I don't know if it's okay to say this, but
please don't.
No, I'm going to be careful.
Oh, please be careful. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to say anything horrible. I'm of the opinion that EK, can I say it that way?
Yeah, Erika Kirk, you can say her name.
Oh, I can say her. Okay. I am of the opinion that Erika Kirk she had to have known about it because when she went on stage for the memorial, I am a psychologist. Okay. Her whole emotional demeanor and how she spoke and presented herself to me was complete crap, especially when she did her little whisper things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if that was me, first of all, I wouldn't have attended. How do you do that in the first few days or what, 10 days? Whatever. You just don't do it. You just don't do it, and nobody expects
Because
you
the
to
thing
do
about
it.
it is your kids are the priority, so you got to make, because not only did you lose your husband, your kids lost their daddy, and you sitting around doing podcasts all day and memorials all day, fake crying, you know, looking like you were you on a WWE wrestling show instead of tending to your children that just lost their daddy. So let me show you this right here. You've seen this already, but this is what I think of Erika Kirk right here.
Type of trance, and everybody is being controlled by an Aunt Gladdy.
Let me get you some help, Truman. You're not well.
Right here.
Why do you want to have a baby with me?
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thoroughly disgusted with her. It's just, you know what? The thing is, if it was you or I who had a spouse that was offed, I'll say it that way, we would be the first people under suspicion. Right?
The
spouse is always the first person. Oh, I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, it's you.
What the heck? I can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat and y'all can hear me.
I don't know why I can't hear you, but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the spouse is always a prime suspect. But when it comes to Erika Kirk, she's not the prime suspect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That actually was going to be my question.
Hold on. Hey, the people in the audience they say they're getting dizzy because you keep moving around. Can you like be?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. My bad.
Okay. All right, let me read this super chat real quick. Let me read the super chat. The fact that they let's see.
I'm probably gonna have to go back and listen later because I can't hear.
Okay. The fact that they keep.
I don't know what happened.
Hold on. Okay. Maybe they couldn't afford adrenochrome. And thank you for the super chat. There was no miracle to Charlie's spine, as the outcome was the same either way. Exactly. It was a miracle, but he's still dead. How is it a miracle, but you dead? It's just stupid. What about the staff that ran to the stairs? And shout out to Bobby Smalls 420 or 420 for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Thoughts on thoughts on one shooter, two guns. Now it's two guns. It's I don't know what y'all live on TV too much. Like, it's not two guns, it's not one gun. My theory is that he was shot from behind, but a louder, higher powered rifle was set and fired into the ground, explaining the campus remodel. Okay. I'm not here to argue with nobody on what they was thinking, but none of that makes any sense. But thank y'all for pulling up. You was about to say something in a second? You about to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask like, you know, isn't it weird that all these coincidences and all these like excuses and all these fairy tale like ideas and stuff like come out of the woodwork? But it doesn't, like, for something like this, everybody starts making excuses and stuff because they want to believe. They want to believe something so badly that they're willing to make any type of excuse possible that'll keep it with inside their bookends. And I argue that what's happening to us, what's going on, is outside of the normal man's bookends, right? You got to go outside what you think is possible, because that's where that's where you're going to find the truth. It's not inside your bookends. It's not done. The truth isn't happening inside your bookends. You got to go outside, and that's I'll leave you with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So I'm about to get more into this on Patreon. I just put together my Patreon, and I just hooked up the Discord to it. So I'm about to start dropping more videos about what you're saying to my Patreon, because of course we can't see it here. But yeah, huh?
Oh, all right. Right. So right on. That's very cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I just realized that I can't talk about certain things here. I got to go on the Patreon. So everybody watching, make sure to sign up for my Patreon if you see it. The link to the Patreon is in the chat and is pinned at the top of the chat. But yeah, man, thank you for being here. I'm gonna go over a couple more videos and that'll be
Thank
it.
you for having me. Thank you very much.
All right, no problem, man. All right. All right. Okay. So I got this video I want to share with y'all also. I'm gonna get into
really
this.
weird. Josh Hammer.
Actually, no. I'm gonna wait. I don't want no problems. I do not want no problems. I'm gonna wait on this. I'm gonna wait on that because that might get me.
He was just someone with a different political opinion is insane.
Now talk about that watch list, because I don't know if people really know about this.
So y'all listen to this. Some of y'all seen this before, but some of y'all have not watched this. This is about Charlie Kirk.
Right. And first of all, what you have to understand about Charlie Kirk is the reason he dropped out of junior college at 18 years old is because he was discovered by a man named Bill Montgomery, who was a Tea Partier, a very rich, I think probably billionaire, who spotted him when he was in high school spouting free market conservative ideas and convinced him, became his mentor. This man was 72 years old, and he gave him $4.7 million to start Turning Point USA. And the first thing that Turning Point USA did, they started this in 2012. This is when Barack Obama was running for re-election, and a lot of the right were really fearful that he had the youth on their side. What they had was Rush Limbaugh, whose audience was much older. So what they decided they needed to do was take that Rush Limbaugh energy, right-wing talk radio,
start it
and
over.
get it with the
Get it
young
younger.
people, right?
Mhm.
And get it on the campuses. And the right has always been angry that they feel college campuses are too liberal. So Turning Point USA was really started by the 72-year-old man, Bill Montgomery, but he was the face, Charlie Kirk. And what they did was they sent him onto campuses to try to argue for the free market. When that didn't really take off, he eventually turned to things that are easier to sell: racism, sexism, misogyny, just hate talk. But that started to make it take off. And during the pandemic, he really blew up. That is where he came from. And so, one of the projects that Turning Point USA created that still exists to this day is what they called a campus watch list. And what that is a snitch list. They basically encourage people on college campuses who are conservative to report on their professors who they think are too liberal, who spout liberal ideas. They put their names, their addresses, in some cases they dox them, and they encourage them to be attacked. And so some of the people on that watch list, who are mainly Black women, brown folks, gay folks, people who are minorities, are on that list. They've been doxxed. They've been terrorized. People have reported getting death threats from being on that list. That is the right's MLK.
That is so crazy to me. I feel like, and this is all things I'm learning now once he's died. I didn't even know any of these things while he was, still alive. And all this information is coming out, and it's making me feel like you said, it is never right to shoot and kill somebody, while they're in the middle. That's not right. But I also am looking at all of these hateful things that were spread. And sometimes you got to think about the energy that you're putting out in the atmosphere.
What you have to understand about Charlie Kirk is the reason he dropped out of junior college at 18. They started over and get it with the younger. Off, and during the pandemic, he really blew up. That is where he came from. And so, one of the projects that Turning Point USA created that still exists to this day is what they called a campus watch list. And what that is a snitch list. They basically encourage people on college campuses who are conservative to report.
Okay, so this is Bill Montgomery, the dude who funded Turning Point USA, also founded it with Charlie Kirk. And this is what I try to tell you guys often. A lot of times in politics, especially in modern politics, things aren't going to look the way that they looked back in the day. Everybody expects the racism and all of the bad stuff that's going to happen, that's happening, to look exactly how it looked like 1950. Oh, it doesn't look like how it did in 1950, so it's not existing. It's still happening. And, the whole point of Turning Point was they were trying to sell it as some young people stuff with Candace Owens and this guy, Charlie Kirk. But really, it's just old people it's old people vibes trying to be repackaged, and it doesn't stand up when they actually have to speak to folks that are knowledgeable on what they talk about. So they put so much money. I mean, when you have
So they find a young person in order to talk to young people, and the old person's talking points, which is the 75-year-old man, and the divisive talk and the weird racism that you will hear from Charlie Kirk. It came from the old guy.
$4.7 million. When you start out with that, this is what I'm saying. These folks are so funded. So when y'all come to me about, oh, how come you can't do this? These dude got $5 million running around, get to talk crazy. How could you travel to all those places anyway?
What does the Oklahoma State Superintendent think about the possibility that some schools in the state of Oklahoma may not want a Turning Point chapter in their school?
So this right here is about how Turning Point USA is possibly turning into a disease now that Charlie Kirk has passed away. And with the geofencing, with the churches, with them forcing it upon people, it's turning into this disease that Charlie Kirk was 100% against. So listen to this.
State Superintendent think about the possibility that some schools in the state of Oklahoma may not want a Turning Point chapter in their schools? Because, you know, he's trying to require it in every school in the state now. Let's hear what he thinks about some schools not being down with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we would go after their accreditation. We would go after their certificates. So, yeah, they would be.
This is Turning Point USA talking. The new Turning Point USA will go after their accreditation. Why? Just because we don't want something in our schools? Turning Point USA is turning into a disease. They're now even part of the Super Bowl halftime show in some type of damn way.
Not being down with that.
Listen to this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we would go after their accreditation. We would go after their certificates. So, yeah, they would be in danger of not being a school district if they decided to reject a club that is here to promote civic engagement. Absolutely. They would be violating the law. They would be violating the rules set forth to them by our agencies.
Yes.
He literally said they will be violating the law because we don't want a chapter of Turning Point USA in our goddamn school. What kind of shit is that?
You heard it here in the state of Oklahoma. You will have a Turning Point chapter in your school, or they will close you down, according to the superintendent of education.
This is why they wanted Charlie Kirk gone. Charlie Kirk wasn't with this shit. Charlie Kirk was not into forcing people and force feeding people this Turning Point USA stuff. Charlie Kirk was not into this geofencing every damn school and church on the West Coast. Every church on the West Coast are being geofenced by Turning Point USA. I'll say it again. Every church in the West Coast is getting geofenced by Turning Point USA, and ain't nobody saying nothing. Charlie Kirk was not into this shit. So it wasn't just IHOP that wanted to get rid of him. It was Turning Point USA that wanted to get rid of him. Turning Point USA is starting to become the next damn zombie apocalypse or some shit. This is the reason why this young man is gone. This shit is crazy. So I got more to speak on. Since it's 9 o'clock, I'll come back tomorrow and speak on the rest. So make sure y'all buy my products that are under this video. My Diva Discussions card game, my mother-daughter card game. I wrote a book. Some of y'all don't know I wrote a book. I'm an author. So some of y'all look up under this video and go buy my book. It's called The Terrible Life of a Beautiful Woman. It's a beautiful book. So do that. And of course, make sure to join my Patreon. The link to the Patreon is pinned at the top of the chat. And to buy my card games, all you have to do is look under this video and you'll see my card games. Or there's a button either here or here that says view products. Can y'all see the view products link that is either here or here? Is either here or here. Can y'all see view products either here or here? Yes or no? Say yes in the chat or no in the chat. Can y'all see view products? I just want to make sure y'all can see it. It's supposed to be there. But view the products, see if it's something on the website that you would like to purchase, and click that link and see if it's something that you would like to purchase if you have not already. All right, so y'all said yeah. All right, cool. But make sure to join my Patreon, y'all. My Patreon is pinned to the top of the chat. So I will most likely be back tomorrow because I got some more things to talk about. I was going to talk about it today, but it's 9:30. I'm like, all right, we'll end the show and then we'll come back tomorrow. So I had y'all up if y'all had any questions. And yeah, I hope y'all love this interpretation that I did with the Weapons movie, because I love watching that movie. And I had a ball putting this video together, this live stream together, because I might go see that movie again. All right, so I will talk to y'all later. And before y'all go, make sure to check out my card games.
That will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards a potential boyfriend.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay.
Somebody just said, what's the website? I'm dropping all my links in the chat right now, right behind each other. So you can just pick a link and purchase whatever product you want to see in the chat. So all my links are pinned in the chat. My Patreon link is in the chat. No problem, Connie. Thank you for watching. And my dating card game link is in the chat.
Meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. Actually, these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.